I can't believe it, guys. I can't believe it. Joe Staley retired, and I don't know how to feel about this. I'm sure everyone is thinking the same thing. I mean, coming into the draft, I was high on the 49ers drafting an offensive lineman because there was always some uncertainty with Joe. The post-Super Bowl interview just was hurtful, and it was sad to watch. Joe seemed like he knew he was towards the end of the road. And it sucks that the Niners didn't win that game, but it sucks even more given that was Joe Staley's last game. Staley played 13 seasons with the 49ers. Remember, he came out of the 2007 draft class where Patrick Willis was also drafted, the longest tenured 49er that was on the roster and one of my favorite 49er players of all time. Joe Staley was pure class. He stuck through the rough, very rough 49er football days. I mean, just these were his coaches: Mike Nolan, Mike Singletary, Jim Harbaugh, Jim Tom Sula, probably the lowest point in recent history, Chip Kelly, who was a complete disaster. I mean, just lasting only a year. And now, Kyle Shanahan. Not once did he complain. Not once did he show up his team or front office. Your ultimate pro. And if this is the end for Joe, he went out with class. He informed the team before the draft about his possible retirement due to health reasons. This never made headline news. Joe was all about the team, and he will be a future Hall of Famer. Just a stud of a player. Thank you, Joe, for everything. You have made football fun for us fans, even in the darkest times. Now, with that news came this. The 49ers traded for Pro Bowl left tackle Trent Williams. They gave up this year's 5th round pick and next year's 3rd round pick to get the star left tackle. Initially, this news broke before hearing about Joe's retirement. Once it broke, everyone was kind of speculating whether or not he would retire. Well, it ended up happening. Trent Williams' trade is huge. Can you imagine Staley retiring and we have a backup left tackle or someone who's just unproven? I mean, the Niners got fortunate enough that there was a Pro Bowl left tackle in the market. Number one, that's rare. Number two, you go from an all-decade left tackle player to possibly another all-decade player, Trent Williams. So how lucky are the Niners? I'd say they're really lucky landing a player like that, of that caliber. So you won't skip a beat. So big ups to John Lynch and staff putting this deal together. The Vikings were also engaged in talks, but they took a tackle in the mid rounds in this draft, so it was clear the 49ers were the front runners after that. John Lynch was not done making moves. He had a very busy Saturday. They officially traded Marquise Goodwin to the Eagles for a 5th round pick, so they got that pick back. They ended up taking tackle Colton McKivitz in the 5th round. I hope I pronounced the name right. They also traded Matt Breida to the Dolphins. So both Breida and Goodwin are traded as predicted. It seems like Pettis and Solomon Thomas are on the roster until further notice, but we will wait and see how that plays out. I think Pettis will make the team. Solomon Thomas, I'm not 100% sure. A few big moves John Lynch has made. If you would have told me before free agency that all three, Sanders, Buckner, and Joe Staley, would be gone, I mean, I would have lost my mind as a fan. Like, those are 3 critical players. It basically, outside of Sanders because he came in last year, but he really helped this team go to the Super Bowl. I mean, Buckner, Staley, those are pivotal pieces to this organization. If you would have told me they were gone, I would have been like, why? One came as a surprise, Buckner obviously being traded. Sanders, I think, it was difficult for the Niners to go with wide receiver there. I felt like, they went with Armstead, and that kind of makes more sense, invest in defensive line. And then you look at Staley retiring. I mean, it was coming. I thought he was going to play out his contract, but the more I thought about it, you just never know in this business. At the end of the day, we're all human, so it made sense for Joe Staley. It just sucks that, that was his last year. But personally, I think the 49ers did a hell of a job bringing in talent and trading for a Pro Bowl left tackle. I mean, the 49ers are still one of, if not the deepest team in the NFL. But I'm done talking, guys. Let me hear from you. Joe Staley retired, but I mean, we have a new left tackle. What are your thoughts on that? Go ahead and drop your comments below. Also, if you had to grade the 49ers draft, what letter grade would you give them? I'm still thinking about it personally. I'd probably write a blog about it, so stay tuned for that. Thank you all for watching, and as always, we'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace.